Yes, indeed. He is a celebrity.
Okay.
But that's a product of knowledge. As they say, knowledge is power. How much do you know? How is it that you even acquire the knowledge that you have? Okay, so we're switching gears now. We've looked at the economy, we've looked at oil
Oil
and
and gas.
gas. Now we're
Now,
looking at
education.
education. And many, indeed, many would be looking for how to acquire this education, whether locally or internationally. Some will seek to partner with certain agencies or certain organizations to acquire their education for their children and indeed themselves outside the shores
And
of
not just
Nigeria.
education, qualitative one.
Qualitative education outside the shores of Nigeria. So there's an agency in the studio. They have representatives here, Kaplan International College. The preparation courses equip students with the academic skills and key subject knowledge and
Okay, so why don't
ability.
you just allow...
Exactly. I was going to say, before I chew my tongue out, let me just get them to come and tell us
Yeah.
about what they do. The college director, David Shaw, is in the studio. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And the marketing manager, Kanto Ekenta. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Let's begin with Mr. Shaw. Tell us about Kaplan.
Well, our program is very unique here in Nigeria. Our students do 1 year of their undergraduate education right here, right in Lagos, where we help prepare them for study in the United States to complete their degree. They do their first year here, and then they do a summer bridge in Boston, and then they continue on for 3 years to complete their degree. So they actually get their first year right here in Lagos, right on the BI at our college. So very unique because it lets them be in their own culture for the first year, which is actually the hardest year for a university student.
So you do have facilities here to cater for that first year.
Yes, they do their whole first year here. So.
Okay, it's more of, it's not a secondary school. It's
No. That's kind of the confusion. I know in the UK-based system, particularly.
because when you say college here,
yes,
you know.
yes. No, this is actually what you would say in the U.S. a university, because they're actually doing their freshman year right here. It's the confusion over the American wording versus the UK wording. A college in the U.S. is the equal of a university, so we say colleges and universities, as opposed to the UK, where you say college and it usually means a secondary education.
Yeah, Kanto, tell us, what's this relationship between Kaplan International College and US Pathway
Well,
program?
Kaplan has existed for about 70 years worldwide. We've been in West Africa for 8 years. And we've recruited students to the UK and US for the last 8 years. With time, we recognized the gap some of the students from secondary school were having in another culture and in another academic environment. And to curb the case of students not doing very well, we decided to start the United States Pathway Program at the first Kaplan College in Africa at Victoria Island. So the United States Pathway Program helps students do their first year here in Nigeria and then gain the academic skills they need for university studies in the United States. And we've had our students for 2 years now, and they're progressing seamlessly and they're doing very well at the universities we've partnered with in the United States.
So how does it work? Like a child will finish secondary school
Yes.
and then come to... Tell us, how does it work?
It's very simple compared to the traditional way of applying to the United States, you know, SATs, lots of documentation. We've kept it very simple with the universities, and the US Embassy is also aware of what we're doing. Students will just fill an application form, submit their WAEC results. WAEC results are not out yet this year, so we expect students to have their first term transcripts of SS3. They will also come to our office for an aptitude test, just basic maths and English, and have an interview. It's just that simple and easy.
Okay. She said that it's a very simple process. How does it exactly work, and how long is the program for?
The program here is for 1 year, but generally a U.S. bachelor's degree, which is the basic college education or university education, is a 4-year program. So you do your first year here and 3 in the U.S. You can compress that because the big difference also in the American versus the UK system is American students take summers off. They go have fun during their college years and enjoy themselves. But you can take classes on your summer, during the summer too, and actually compress a U.S. education down to 3 years. So when you're talking about time, it's kind of a confusion as well.
So you can actually, if you do summer classes, so you do the first year here, take summer classes, it helps you put it all in. So you do
Correct.
1 year in Nigeria, 2 years in the U.S.
Right. You could, as long as everything aligns. The problem is that sometimes in the summer, certain specialized classes aren't offered. So you really have to work with your academic advisors at your destination institutions and let them know what you want to do so that they can align all of your courses for you and that you can graduate faster.
Is Kaplan only just about the first degree, or do you also do postgraduate?
No, we don't do postgraduate in this program. We do admissions to other postgraduate institutions, both in the U.S. and the U.K. So our particular program is specifically the USPP program, which is this 1 year here, 3 years in the U.S. program.
So for how many Nigerians have you been able to cater for?
For the past 2 years,
Yes.
about almost 220 now.
And
Yeah.
how are they doing?
They're doing splendidly well. The progression rates are over 80% to the universities, and the university professors are getting back to us with a lot of reports on how well the students are performing over Nigerian students who go directly to the US, over US high school students who are trained in the US who go into universities, and they've been asking, what exactly are you doing with these students? How come they're able to cope so quickly and give us amazing grades? At the same time, just last week, we got reports that 22% of our students were on the Dean's Honor List. So it's amazing for us as a company, and it's amazing for the parents of these children. And we are proud to say we started this just the other day, and we're already making milestones in the U.S.
Yeah, let's talk about the consortium of North American universities. What's this membership? Maybe I should ask the director of the college.
Well, we have 6 institutions in the consortium, all top-level institutions. These are top 20% institutions in the U.S. University of Vermont, which is one of the oldest public institutions and also known as a public Ivy. DePaul, which is in Chicago, very well known. Marist, which is a major liberal arts institution in the U.S. We have Stevens Institute of Technology, which is probably the number 2, right behind MIT. We have Northeastern University in Boston, and we have Baylor University in Texas. We also have 2 associate partners that students may choose to go to as well. But those are the 6 major partners and all outstanding institutions in the U.S.
Okay, so all of these schools, the students can go
Yes.
through and have their pathways.
They get to look at, first of all, majors, what majors are offered at those institutions, whereas in the U.S. there's a wide variety of choices of majors. They can be very institutionally specific, so they look at their majors. They also look at their grade point average and the requirements. They're all very high performing institutions, so you have to have a high grade point. And they also look at, we find our students look at geography as well. Many of our students want to go to Baylor because Baylor's in Texas and it's much warmer. So much more comparative to Nigeria. But some of them want the adventure and even choose the University of Vermont, which is, if you know, your geography is right next to Canada. So it's very cold, lots of snow, and so they enjoy that. Of course, they get tired of the snow. They're not used to it.
A variety of choices.
Right. So all over the United States, north and south, east and